Hi guys, my name is Bobby. Welcome back to my channel, and today I'm bringing you a book haul because I looked at my videos and I haven't done a book haul since like July or August, I think, something like that. So yeah, I'm bringing you a book haul. There's quite a bit of books here, not a ton because I didn't buy a lot of books during the whole pandemic, like, you know, funds were strapped, that kind of thing. But I did receive some gifts from people for my birthday, a couple for my birthday and some for Christmas. Some, like in the gift note, it just says a name, and I'm not sure exactly if it's a subscriber or somebody from Becca's Discord, because in the Discord we share our wish list so we can send each other stuff on birthdays and Christmas, whatever. So I have, did I even buy any of these? I did buy some of these, and some are, there's a couple book of the month books in here. I've been a subscriber to book of the month since 2017, 2016. I found book of the month before I found BookTube. So I haven't really gotten much in the past couple of months because I haven't really been interested in the books that they have. I mean, I've kind of usually always used to get the thriller and sometimes the literary fiction if it appealed to me, but the thrillers haven't been that good lately. And though I did get one, and I don't even know why I got it. I think it's because I'd skipped 2 months and I figured I need to get one, and I don't even know if I'm going to read it. Like, it's small, it's probably going to be stupid, and I've struggled lately. I did the switch from reading a lot of thrillers to reading a lot of fantasy romance because thrillers were really disappointing me a lot in the past, year? Something like that. I mean, in 2020, I think I read one thriller. They just haven't been appealing to me. I've been reading a lot of fantasy and fantasy romance. So I'm going to get into it and stop babbling. But there's, at least 15, 20 books here. So I'm going to try to go through them as fast as possible. Obviously, I want to read all these books, otherwise I wouldn't have them. So I'm going to try really hard not to say, and I'm so excited to read this, because that comes without saying. Obviously, I should want to read all of these books. Most of these are gifted, like I said before. So just going to hold them up, talk a little bit about them, what they're about, and hopefully get through this video and not make it a half an hour long. I'm just going to go from the top of the stack. And this book was gifted to me through a Facebook group. Brittany over at the Continuing Chronicles mentioned to me that there was a Facebook group for women. I think most of them are women. I shouldn't say that. There's probably men in there as well, but most of the posts I see are from women. And it's like a book swap, so you can post your books on there and sell them, swap them. They swap arcs. People swap arcs on there all the time, or sell books that they're trying to get rid of. They have posts where it's like in search of. So if you're in search of a certain kind of book or certain edition, if somebody has it, you know, and we just pay online and send books back and forth. They also have something which they used to do every month. Now they're doing every other month, where they post a thread where it's like a wish list thread. So you go in there and you post your wish list. The admin of the group will say under there, if you're the first one, then whichever admin posts will buy. You have to buy them a book, and then whoever posts below you, then they have to buy you a book, and it kind of goes like that. So when you post, you'll be buying the person above you a book off their wish list. You just post the wish list, and the admin keeps track of it, and whoever posts last, the admin will buy them a book. So it's really cool how that works. And so I was like, well, I want to be a part of that. That's really fun, because then you get a look on people you don't even know their wish list and send them a book they really want. So this is what this is from. I don't think I put the gift tag in here, but this has been on my wish list for quite a while. It's something I've always wanted to read, and I know it's going to be really sad and powerful, and it's pretty much a modern classic, and that's The Color Purple by Alice Walker. I've always wanted to read this. I know it's going to be super sad. But it's one that I've always wanted to read. It's been on my wish list for a while, and that's what the girl who was supposed to buy me something decided to gift me. Next on the stack is one I bought for myself. Did I pre-order this? I can't remember. That's Burn Our Bodies Down by Rory Power. This is the author who wrote Wilder Girls, and absolutely loved Wilder Girls. Is one of my favorite reads of 2019. Still haven't gotten to this one yet because 2020 was shit. So it's about a girl and her mom, and they live together, and they live in a rundown apartment, and her mom never speaks of her actual family. And so the main character wants to know, why don't we have any family? Like, I need family. So she goes to meet her mom's family, and I guess weird stuff starts to happen. Something about a cornfield, and there's like a reason why her mom left. And so I'm curious. I'm assuming it's going to be kind of paranormal, like Wilder Girls was. And her writing's kind of odd or weird. I don't know if this is going to have an abrupt ending. I know Lala really loved this one, but she also loved Wilder Girls. So I'm hoping, since I loved Wilder Girls, I'll also love this one. Next is the book of the month pick, and that's The Invisible Girl by Lisa Jewell. I really enjoy Lisa Jewell. I think I've read 2 of her books. One I know for sure. I have another one, The Family Upstairs, over there on my list, or on my shelf. And I think I have another one around here somewhere that I have not read yet. I don't even know what this one's about. I just saw Lisa Jewell and got it. This one follows a male. That's unusual. Owen's life is falling apart. In his 30s, a virgin and living in his aunt's spare bedroom, he's just been suspended from his job as a computer science teacher after accusations of sexual misconduct, which he strongly denies. Searching for professional advice online, he's inadvertently sucked into a dark world of incel, involuntary celibate forums, where he meets the charismatic, mysterious, and sinister Bryn. So this looks like it's going to be like multiple families. And the one that I read, there was two that I read. I can't remember the name of the one, but it involved multiple families. Like there was a mom or a girl who lived by herself with her mom, and her mom was bipolar or schizophrenic, I can't remember, and was taking care of her and didn't want anybody to know about it. And then her best friend and their family had stuff going on. And then there was a family across the street where there was a boy who was like late teens, and there was something wrong with him. Like he was kind of sinister. And then there's a adult female who has a crush on the one kid's dad. Like it was all intermixed family drama kind of stuff, where the mystery was good, but it wasn't scary or terrifying, but it was still good. And that's what I like about hers. It's a lot of family drama with a little bit of mystery. So if I'm gonna pick any kind of like mystery up, it'll probably be Lisa Jewell before anything else. This is the one that I'm book of the month book that I'm not sure if I'm gonna read it. I probably will, but we'll see. And that's People Like Her by Ellery Lloyd. This is the story of a girl who's like, I think an Instagram influencer. I don't know if they actually use the word Instagram, but she's an influencer online, has millions of followers. I believe it's her job. Like she makes money off of it, like a lot of influencers do. And I think she's like a lifestyle, like her kids, stuff like that. And there's a stalker who's trying to come after her. Don't know if it's male or female. Pretty short book. We'll see. I know Murphy, she gets all the book of the month books because she's an affiliate, and they give them to her so she can promote it and whatever. And she is not going to read this one. She's unhauling it because that is her worst fear, being an influencer. So we'll see. We'll see if I want to pick it up or not. I mean, when I originally got it, I really wanted to read it. Now I'm not so sure. But thrillers, I've just been kind of like I've said. So we'll see. The next two books were gifted to me by, let me look. From Jermaine from No Self Control. So Jermaine, if you're watching, please comment down below so I can properly thank you. I tried looking for your channel, but I couldn't find it. I found a lot of other channels that were No Self Control, so I don't know if you actually have a YouTube channel, if you're an Instagram or whatever. So please comment down below so I can properly thank you. And these were for Christmas. I assume they came a little bit after Christmas, but I would assume so. And the first one she got me was The Tattooist of Auschwitz by Heather Morris. This I've heard mixed things about, but I've heard it's really good. It's a lot shorter than I thought it was going to be. So this tells the story of a Jewish man who was tasked to be the tattooer at Auschwitz, and he had to tattoo all the numbers on all the Jewish people when they came into the concentration camp. And I believe it's about him finding love as well. I know it's pretty heavy. Obviously, anything about World War II or the Holocaust is very heavy. I don't know if it's entirely based on fact. I know the main character is based on a real person, but I don't know how much is embellished or not. I know it's not a memoir or nonfiction, so I know it's fictionalized quite a bit. But I've heard pretty good things about it, and so I was really excited when this one came. This is like, these two that she got me are some of the very few ones that aren't fantasy on my wish list. So I'm happy to have this one on my shelf. And the second one Jermaine got me, which I saw this on Sarah from Sarah's Nightstand. I saw it on her channel. God, this was like last year, maybe even 2019. And it sounded really, really, really good. And that's 13 by Steve Kavanaugh. From what I understand, this book is like number 8 or 9 in a series, but she read it and she said it doesn't matter. Like she wasn't lost. But this tells a story of, I think it's a cop or detective or something like that. It's a detective type story, but they're trying to hunt a serial killer. And they've got somebody that they're going to charge with the killings, but he's not actually the serial killer. The actual serial killer is on the jury for this person. And so that just seems super fucking twisted. And Sarah said it was really good. She couldn't put it down and that it was super twisted. So if Sarah says it's good, then I'm pretty sure I'm probably going to like it. So I had it on my wish list and Jermaine got it for me. So thank you very much, Jermaine. I really appreciate both books that you got me for Christmas. I'm very excited to get them. When anything showed up at Christmas, it was hard because I had ordered a lot of stuff from Amazon for my kids. So when these Amazon boxes started showing up, I just threw them in my closet until it was time to wrap them. And in those boxes, I'm like, that seems a little bit much. Unless I could shake it and tell it was a book. Some of them I didn't open until literally Christmas Eve when I was wrapping my kids' Christmas presents because I wasn't sure if it was for them or if they were gifts for me. But again, thank you so very much, Jermaine, for these 2 books. I really appreciate it. Next is a book that I got yesterday that showed up. I don't know if it was for Christmas or just because, but I was so excited when it came. And this is a gift from Jess. You didn't leave any handles or anything like that, so please comment down below if it was you who sent this to me because I really want to be able to properly thank you. And that's Me by Elton John. This is Elton John's memoir. I am so fucking excited to read this. I can't even remember where I saw this. It was, I think it had just after it had come out. I don't know if it was on like Amazon Recommends or something like that. And I was like, because I watched the movie Rocket Man, which I absolutely loved, and I adore Elton John. So this is his story in his own words, and I can't wait to read it. So this was a really, really nice surprise. So thank you very much, Jess, for sending this to me. Again, please comment down below so I can properly thank you. Next is one I got myself. I've already talked about it on this channel, and that's Fires of Vengeance by Evan Winter, excuse me. This is book 2 in, what is it, the Fires of Vengeance series? Or the, I don't even know what the series is called. Rage Dragon series? Something Dragons? I don't even remember. Oh no, The Burning. Sorry, the series is called The Burning. So this is book 2 in the Burning series. I don't know if it's going to be 3 or 4 books or more. This is book 2. I'm in the middle of reading it still. I'm about 300 pages in. 200, just over 200 pages in. Still haven't picked it up since the fall. The reading slump was real, and this was really dragging. It's definitely suffering from second book syndrome, but I'm hoping to get back to it now that I'm starting to get my reading group back. Next is another book of the month book. This is all the way back from August, and that's The Unraveling of Cassidy Holmes by Elisa R. Sloan. This tells the story of a girl group from the 90s, I believe it is. Like, think like Spice Girls kind of. And it shows, I think it's 2 separate timelines where it shows the rise to fame. And in the present day timeline, the lead singer, or the main girl, the one that got super famous in the group, has killed herself and committed suicide. And so it's kind of telling the story and like how they got there. I think I've only heard one other person review it, and it was kind of middle of the road for them. I can't remember who it was. So it's been sitting there. The only reason I got it and picked it because I love Daisy Jones and the Six, and I like music storybooks, so I'm hoping to get to this one soon too. Next, I'm not even going to talk about this book very long because I've talked about it ad nauseum, but I just haven't hauled it. And that's The Year of the Witching by Alexis Henderson. This was one of my favorite books of 2020. I've talked about it a lot, so I'm not even going to give a synopsis, but here, I'm hauling it. Next was a gift from the lovely Ashley over at A Frolic Through Fiction. She got this for me for Christmas, and what was funny is it just showed up randomly, and I had already told her, I think it was like a couple days after I told her that I had sent her a Christmas gift as well, but I mean, she got a ton from a lot of her subs, so I was like, there's some in there for you. I'd messaged her, but then this showed up, and it's so sweet, and I really, really want to read this one. The only thing is it has deckled edges, and I fucking can't stand deckled edges. But that's Once and Future Witches by Alex E. Harrow. Alex E. Harrow wrote The Thousand Doors of January. Never read that book, had no desire to read that book. But this is about witches, takes place in the 1800s, late 1800s. It's about sisters. From what I understand, there's 3 sisters, and they all kind of represent the 3, the crone, the maiden, and I can't think of the other one. But it's all like that, and it's like during the suffragist movement, so it involves that. From what I understand, it's really, really good. There's only one person who I follow who said they didn't care for it. It was kind of like middle of the road, but everybody else has loved it. So like, witches, can't wait to get to it. Another one I'm not going to talk much about, got it through book of the month, The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue. Everybody's talking about this. I'm waiting till the hype dies down to read it. Next was a Christmas present, and the second I opened this box, I knew exactly who it was from without even having to look at the gift note. She wrote, "Merry Christmas, bitch tits." And then when I pulled this out, I knew exactly who it was from. But this is A Court of Thorns and Roses by Sarah J. Maas. This is the special edition. It's got really beautiful, does it have, no, it doesn't have I thought it did. Oh no, here's the string, and this is to help pull it out. But it is a gorgeous edition. Feyre hunting in the forest, and there's the Fey Wolf. It is a gorgeous edition of A Court of Thorns and Roses. And this, of course, was gifted to me by Becca at Beck in the Books. Nobody is surprised at all. She is a Sarah J. Maas, like, super fan, like, psycho super fan. And that's, I mean, I saw it and I knew it was from Becca. And then, you know, the Merry Christmas bitch tits just sealed it. So thank you, Becca. I really appreciate it. This is beautiful. It went right on my shelf next to my normal, original, old school trilogy. Should I rant about that? They did the cover changes for all of the Court of Thorns and Roses books the ACOTAR series. They're hideous, hideously ugly. Granted, the new book, A Court of Silver Flames or whatever, that one is the ugliest. It's gray with like this poop brown like design on it. It's fucking ugly. And the other ones aren't as ugly. They're not as bad, I guess, but it's just the design is just weird. I prefer the old school design. You don't need to change. I hate cover changes when you've already got a series going. So now I'm just, even though book 4 is a continuation of the series, it's just the Nessa and Cassian story, I'm just going to consider them 2 separate trilogies because the covers, I'm not getting the new covers for my old set. I like the old set just the way they are. Next was a late Christmas present that got here just a couple of days ago. And she said, I hope this reaches you in time, but if not, Happy New Year. So, and she also pre-ordered me something, this is from Cody at Cody's Book Corner, and she got me The Sword of Kagan by M.L. Wang. This is getting a lot of hype on BookTube. It is thick. This, I think it's a one-off. I don't think it's a series. I think it's a one-off, but it's an Asian-inspired fantasy that, from what I hear, Daniel from Daniel Green absolutely fucking loved it. Michael from Michael Nip said that the first, like, 30% was, or 30 or 40% was pretty slow and boring, and then it took off and it was amazing. There was somebody else who's kind of said the same thing, so I'm hoping that I won't feel the same way because slow starts tend to get me, but I'm excited to read this one. Cody said she'd been eyeing this one for a while as well, and that's why she sent it to me. And that bitch also pre-ordered me a book. She said in her note that she also I may have pre-ordered you something, which means she did. So being a sneaky person, so I make sure that I don't try to pre-order it myself. I checked my wish list, and it appears she has ordered me the new Grady Hendrix, which comes out July 13th of 2021. It's one of my most anticipated books of the year, and it's like the Final Girls Club or something like that. It's something like that. It's something to do with Final Girls, which I'm super excited because if Grady Hendrix is, I think it's the Final Girls Club, something like that. But I'm excited because Grady Hendrix writing something about Final Girls. I think I'll post a picture here because I'm pretty sure I have it because I've talked about it in another video. But she pre-ordered me that one because she's sneaky little shit. Next, this was a pre-order and it showed up on time. I still haven't finished it. I am 100 pages in and still haven't picked it back up. This fell victim to the slump. I will eventually finish it. And that's The Savior's Sister by Jenna Moreci. This is the companion to The Savior's Champion, which is one of my favorite books of 2017, 2018. It's a companion. This is supposed to be a 6-book series. This is book 2, but this is a companion to book 1. This is the story of book 1 from the main female character's point of view. So you get a lot of back history on the magic and the political system and all that, because in book 1 you follow Tobias and he's underground 90% of the book. I've heard mixed reviews on this. Some people who really love The Savior's Champion, like, absolutely stan it, and they just because they stan Jenna, because Jenna's a really amazing person. She's on AuthorTube. She has her own channel. She's really, really fun. So they just loved it. There's other people who said this book wasn't really needed, that it was too long, and it didn't really add to the story. Well, I kind of disagree, because now we get to know Leia. Why can't I talk? Layla. My daughter has a friend whose name is Lila, and so I have to, Layla. Layla, you get her side of the story in this book, and with her, you get to know all the political machinations and how everything works and all that kind of stuff. So I think it is needed because we didn't get that in book 1. So I think it is necessary. I'm not far enough yet to know whether or not it's too long or too wordy. I will say, though, from the 100 pages that I have read, I think the amount of characters is a little insane. There's probably like 15 to 20 characters you got to keep track of, not counting all the men that are in the labyrinth with Tobias and like having to remember who's who from that. And then all of the senators and the king and like, or not the king, the sovereign. He's not called the king, he's called the sovereign. The sovereign and like all of that, and plus all of Layla's, women sisters, she calls them, that she has around her. It's a lot to remember. So that's the only complaint I have so far 100 pages in, is that with all the characters, it's kind of hard to keep track. But this is one of my highly anticipated books. It came out in September of 2020. I just need to finish it. 4 more. For my birthday, I've already talked about this one, but I didn't haul it. For my birthday, Back Up From Back in the Books got me Fortuna Sworn by KJ Sutton. This is a fantasy romance, a dark fae fantasy romance that is so dark that I think Kelsey hates everybody. Kelsey is KJ. She's the author. She hates everyone. I've just come to think that she hates people and she wants her readers to suffer. Like, she took like a page out of J. Kristoff where, she like thrives on her readers' tears, and that's pretty much it. Fortuna Sworn tells the story of a girl named Fortuna who is a nightmare, which means if she touches you or uses her powers, she can bring your nightmares to fruition and feel like you're actually living them, and really it's just a hallucination. She is trapped one day and she was trapped by goblins, I believe it was. And she is rescued by a Fey king who, in order to like rescue her and be okay, she has to marry him. So it kind of goes off of that. Currently, book 3 is out, Deadly Dreams. I read Restless Slumber last year. Deadly Dreams is out. I'm 300 pages into Deadly Dreams. I'll put it here. It is an ebook. I bought it on ebook, and I stopped 300 pages in because I'm pissed, and I know that it's not going to end well. Colith is the main love interest for Fortuna, and he's an absolute sweet cinnamon roll bean, and I don't want anything to happen to him. And Kelsey apparently hates his fucking guts, because she just, oh my god. And I know there's worse to come. I'm already 300 pages in, and it's like 500 and something, so I'm well over halfway. And I intentionally stopped reading, because I knew that just nothing was going to go good for Colith, and it appears that's what's going to happen. So, I mean, everything's just dire and terrible, and I'm just pissed. So now I'm waiting to finish it until it's closer to when book 4 is going to come out, so I can transition right from Deadly Dreams to book 4. Now, she has said multiple times, like, she was giving me shit in one of the live shows about how, well, why don't you just finish it? Like, you're missing a good smut scene. That's why I don't even care. I don't even care about the smut scene, because I'm just mad that, you know, it's not going nicely. Like, she just hates everything. But I'm assuming there's a long, you know, there's an end goal in sight. But, you know, in the moment, like, I just want to bitch and whine. And so it's kind of convenient when you can actually bitch and whine at an author. She laughed. She thought it was funny and, you know, said she survives on tears. So, but yes, again, thank you, Becca. This was what she sent me for my birthday, and I really appreciate it. It's her fault that I got into all this fantasy romance shit anyways. Next is another book of the month book. I got this before all of the controversy around it started, and that's Deadly Dreams by Naomi Novik. I know, or Deadly Education. I was just talking about Deadly Dreams. Deadly Education by Naomi Novik. This tells the story of a girl who kind of goes to a magic school, but the whole point is that you're constantly trying to be killed by monsters. Becca read it. She was like in the middle, said that she can't wait to read the sequel, but she didn't like the way it was written because there's a lot of exposition, but she still enjoyed the story and really liked the main character. There was some controversy around this by the way Naomi Novik used some wording around dreadlocks, and she was called out. She did apologize from what I understand, but so there was kind of some controversy around this. But I still want to read it. I didn't realize it was this short when I got it. Who knows when I'll get to it though. But I think I picked this the same time I got one of the other ones in this pile that I can't remember. It's just this fantasy read. I remember I picked it right after it came out. Next was a late Christmas present. Well, it was Christmas, New Year's-ish. But that's A Song of Wreaths and Ruin by Roseanne A. Brown. This is a fantasy duology that is about, I can't remember exactly how to explain. There's like two characters, is the male and the female. The female is a princess, and in order for her to become queen, she has to take the heart of a boy of some kind. Her mother has been murdered, and her court threatens to mutiny, but she decides to resurrect her mom. That's what it is. She decides to resurrect her mom, but in order to do that, she needs the heart of a king. And then there is a boy named Malik who is trying to get into the city and is trying to save his sister, and in order to do that and to get his sister back, he has to kill the main female character. So then it kind of goes from there. This was a gift from Jamie, who is on Becca's Discord and her Patreon Discord. So we become buddies over the past year. Me, him, and Brandy, man, we're constantly going at it. Poor Becca. But this was a gift for him for Christmas. So thank you so much, Jamie. I've already thanked him privately. And last, it's this big old chunker. I have to look to see. Oh, that's right. This is from Chloe, who is also on the Discord. But she got me Peace and Turmoil by Elliot Brooks. Elliot Brooks is a booktuber. She's a fantasy booktuber. She's kind of look at her almost like the female version of Daniel Green. This is her first book. This is really, really thick, and this is book 1. There is no talk of when book 2 or anything else is going to come out. She hasn't said anything about it, but this is a thick boy. And this is self-published by her, I believe. Holy crap. Yeah, it's over 700 pages. This is self-published by Elliot, and so I'm going to wait to read this one until it's closer to when we know if she's going to continue, because I'm going to be really upset if I read this and then she doesn't continue the series. But I believe Chloe said that she read this and really enjoyed it. I know Becca read it and enjoyed it, so yeah, I was really excited to get this one. It's been my wish list for a while, and I really wanted to support Elliot. Okay, guys, that's it. That is all the books that I'm hauling. I'm sure I've missed some. Like, looking around, I'm sure I've missed some because it's been so long since I did a haul, but I also don't want to repeat myself. These are all the ones that jumped out at me that I haven't hauled and that I needed to haul. And what's sad is that I have all these books and I haven't been reading physically at all in months. I've been reading mostly on my Kindle. So I've even gone so far as to buy my physical books on that I already own on Kindle so that I can read them that way and just get them off my TBR. But that is it. Those are all the books. Please let me know in the comments down below if you've read any of these books and what you thought about them. I'm curious to see. I mean, some of these are pretty popular, so I'm curious to see what everybody thinks about them. Let me know what you've hauled lately. Like, is there anything that I'm missing out on? Because I've been slacking on the booktube. I haven't watched in like a week, so I'm afraid to get on there because I know I'm gonna have like 20 videos I need to watch. But that's it, guys. I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.